This video taken by the I.S.U.P.K is posted on the school's website and on YouTube. He says he and members of his Christian Bible school are well within their First Amendment rights.
Because we're hardcore black men.
But shop owners say they've heard enough. Today in court, their lawyers argued the group is trespassing. In addition, they say the group's repentant.
Niggas want me dead. Crackers too, but these coon ass niggas, they for the feds. My stick full of lead. In case these whole niggas try me, man, I'ma have to make that bed. No need to even flex. Cause how I walk it, how I talk it, let you know my speech direct. You heard what I said. Another move, your life passing through your mind, now you're big. And I'm fresh like a motherfucker. Niggas hating cause they more want us. I'm just coolin' by myself, but now they all on me. Shut up, bitch, eat a dick, I don't wanna love you. Sippin' that pool, wow, got you laced up out your shoe now. Look what you finna do, wow, it's hot. Hop around these niggas till you flop. I'm busy getting mine, but all these niggas wanna duck. But it's cool, let me know I'm on the top. Steady in the courtroom, always fighting cops. Call the white man the devil, and that's off the top. So they try to stop my movement with a block, but I beat the case every damn time, so they watch. Waiting on the nigga to try to make me slip up. Walking up on me like homeboy, what's in your cup? Do you have any drugs? Well, let me see the slugs. Make it your bitch ass back, get mad, you ain't getting love. Your wife made you clip it damn nuts, yeah I know. Crazy what coon people will do for these hoes. But I ain't even pressed, I see why you going on. My nigga, you dead wrong, bust a nut, or get it on.
Black and white land, shit is crazy. Black and white land, shit is crazy.
I'm freshen up, cleaner than the motherfucker. Good juice in my cup is redder than the blood sucker. Drip on leak, yeah, drip on me. Hey, talking about, but what the fuck do you mean? Yeah, you see these damn bitches, they be choosing on me. But I don't want the bitch, but that bitch drooling on me. I get the walking on the cause she wanna moving with me. But I won't have it cause she easy like spaghetti, homie. Unleash it to the G. Who is he, that nigga from SC? Get your level straight before you approach a G. Cyan TC 0013. Sits on the stick, it got me cruising off the scene. The fuck do you mean? Yeah, nigga, yeah. They nigga be hating, but they can't penetrate us. Trying to shoot at us now later, but I'ma get you now. Potato on the bow, blang, blow.
But even 30 years later, videos don't necessarily lead to convictions of officers. Advocates for reform say that needs to change.
Shaw, that's AJR.
Shaw, man, you know what I'm saying? Realest nigga out there, man. Nigga turned up, nigga turned the city up. Fucking with his music. We out of pull right
Where we at, though? Where we at?
Greenville, South Carolina, man.
Where we at?
Shout out Shaw, man. Turned up, man.
Damn right.
Fuck with it, man.
Give me that. Right. Birds, There go, brother.
All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. The truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressor, the white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group or Christian church. 1 West is home of the truth. And we're going to bring out some truth, especially about how, Esau, our oppressor, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's right. But before that, we are still observing the Feast of Dedication, you know what I'm saying? Which is called Hanukkah in the Hebrew, right? Right. So during that celebration, what we do is we light the menorah, 7 menorahs, 7 candles on the menorah, all right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to light that right here. First of all, I just want y'all to hear this, because when I was getting this prepared and whatnot, chunks on fire. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Now let me know if it sounds like that to you. And especially right up, up on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Woo. All right. Let me go ahead. Can you see it on the can you see the monitor? Okay. Boom. Now we got the Monterey lit. You know what we're about to do. We're gonna go ahead and light. We're gonna light the coal for the incense. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of fire right there. I think they said this lights up to about 1,000 degrees. This thing it really is hot fire. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Now we're ready to begin class. You know what I'm saying? Right. Go ahead and put this. You know what I'm saying? Get this incense going. Get the smell that the Most High loves. You know what I'm saying? A sweet odor unto the Most High. Boom. Let's get one more nugget on there. And we good to go. We good to go. As always, if you got any questions, type it in the chat. We're going to get to it. If you have any questions in the room, go ahead and, raise your hand and whatnot. But first, if you could, can you give me a paper towel, Baba Shah? There's nothing over here. Yeah. Nothing over here. But we're going to get, what we're going to talk about. It's all over the news. All over the news. The water. All over the news. And can you give me a bottle of water, Baba Shah? What we're talking about is Derek, not Derek. That's a football player. Robert Brooks. Robert Brooks, the water. What happened to that brother? It's tragic. Right. Tragic and oppressive. The brother was murdered while in custody up in New York, and supposedly liberal state. You know what I'm saying? They so liberal, they beat niggas to death. Literally, they beat that brother to death. If y'all know who I'm talking about, we're gonna read about Robert Brooks. We're gonna get a little something on Robert Brooks first. Get me that first one. Before allegedly participating, that one.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and read.
Mm-hmm.
CNN. This is from CNN, a report from CNN US. Before allegedly participating in the beating of Robert Brooks, these officers were accused of involvement in prior cases.
All right, right there. Let's stop right there real quick. So much to break down in that just that title. You know what I'm saying? Before allegedly. Now they had to say allegedly, even though we've seen the video of these oppressor cops, or they're not cops, they're correction officers. They're the people who are in jail, who oversee the inmates. You know what I'm saying? They said allegedly. Now they have to say allegedly because they're not convicted. But we see what happened. We seen with our own eyes. You know what I'm saying? What happened? We seen what was going on. But yet they have to say allegedly. And then they said participating in the beating of Robert Brooks. Now at the time when this came out, Robert Brooks was red rummed. You know what I'm saying? He was no longer existing. He became a hashtag because these oppressors beat him to death. You know what I'm saying? And yet they call this a beating. They just called it a beating. Like they got into a fight and the fight was broken up, and all the parties went on their way. Nah, someone lost their life, and it was a room full of officers that was involved. Now you had something?
No, I just wanted to ask. I know because with the CNN one, he doesn't put it up on the screen because I think it'll take.
Yeah, no, don't put. Nah, just read it. It's like it. Just read it from your phone or from the laptop. Don't put it up on the screen. So right there it says, they were, and then they'll say there was accused of involvement in prior cases. Like, have you seen the video?
No, actually, I haven't. It is right here, but I'm gonna check it out later.
Yeah, check it out later. They said these people were involved in other cases, which I 100% totally believe, because if you see what was going on, you actually see the video. It was like another day at the office. Another day at the office. The brutality that these pigs showed on this brother is disgusting. Disgusting. And these are the people who are supposed to be, guarding inmates. Let's continue reading. Let's continue reading because we got a lot to go through.
All right. Before allegedly participating in the beating of Robert Brooks, these officers were accused of involvement in prior cases. CNN reports at least 3 of the officers involved in the fatal beating of Robert Brooks, a New York man held at the Marcy Correctional Facility in upstate New York, were previously accused of assault, according to court documents obtained by CNN.
So people were complaining about at least 3 of these guys, and it went up to the court. Nothing happened. Nothing happened because if something would have happened, these guys would have been gun shy, so to speak, at trying that stuff again. But no, if you watch the video, there was nothing about them being gun shy. Nothing about them being gun shy.
Yep.
They were blatant with it. I saw one part. Guy was like, "Hold on, watch out," and then started beating on him. Like, come on, man.
Oh wait, no. I think I did see it later in the video. Did the one dude watch how he put his I saw that earlier today, but I didn't know this was in relation to it.
Yes.
Yeah, I did see a part of it earlier today. Yeah, come on, girl.
Yep.
Dang, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Let's keep reading.
Oh man, Salaki. The officers were among 14 staff named by the Department of Corrections related to Brooks' death.
So 14 people are involved. 14 people are involved because 14 people are named in there. All right, let's keep going.
None of the officers have been charged with wrongdoing.
None of the officers have been charged with wrongdoing. Now, let me tell you this. The people who could charge, seen it before we seen it. They seen it before we seen it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, what plausible explanation can you have at beating somebody whose arms are handcuffed behind their back? To have several people beating on you constantly, throwing you up like a rag doll, choking you, trying to stuff something down your throat. Pause. This is what these bastards were doing. Laying hands and feet on him. Let's keep reading.
CNN has not been able to confirm the identities of the officers shown in the video or what specific roles each named person is alleged to have had. Body-worn camera footage released Friday shows correctional officers at the facility punching and kicking Brooks with his hands, handcuffed behind his back in a medical examination.
Now they're in the medical room and they punching and kicking his brother while his hands are cuffed behind his back. What possible harm could that brother have done with his hands tied behind his back and him laying on a gurney? You know what I'm saying? It's not like he a Taekwondo champion. You know what I'm saying? And his feet and his legs are lethal. He's laying on a gurney with his hands cuffed behind his back. And they're all ganging up on him. You had something?
I wanted to point out, and I if I may, about this body footage thing that's been going on for the last some odd years. I never understood if it doesn't scream the spirit of this place. I never could understand how you have a body camera that you must turn in at the end of your shift or however that works, and it's recording, and still go through with abusing somebody, still go through with putting drugs on somebody, planting drugs on somebody, still go through with taking stuff out of the evidence room or whatever the hell it may be. I could never understand how you make such an error, if that is an error, because you just full blown going to do it and nobody thinks about it. 14 staff members with body cameras on, and nobody thinks that and nobody even thinks knows or considers, I should say, that it's recorded. I don't. How do you put that on your uniform and get ready for work in the morning? Press record and go out and do some evil. I don't even understand it. Like you're snitching on yourself.
They say criminals are stupid.
Shalom.
You know what I'm saying?
Shalom.
But real quick, if you could get this light bulb, Kashawn. This one right over here. So when you say you just can't the water, you can't understand what's going on when they had the body cams on. Okay, so I'm not even. So what happened is they knew they were going to assault this brother. They knew it, and just like how the way you say, they would, you would think that they would turn the camera off, the body camera off. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently, allegedly, they thought that they did. So the body camera has different modes that they are unaware of or that they just don't know. So the policy is whenever you're interacting with an inmate, you must then turn your body camera on. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the policy. They were interacting with this brother, and they knew what they were going to do, so they didn't turn their cameras on. What the cameras was on something that was called a standby mode. And standby mode, it records, but it doesn't have audio. So they believed it was off, but it was actually in standby mode. And that's why they thought they can get away with what they was getting away with. And it wasn't just one person who had his body camera on in standby mode. It was multiple people, because you saw multiple angles, different angles of the murder, the red rum. So these people thought that they was going to get away with it, but it was in standby mode. I've seen it a case up in here, right here in Baltimore, right over there up the road in Baltimore, where this cop didn't realize that when you turn the camera on, it takes a certain amount of time for it to start recording. So he had it was like a 30-second. He thought it was like a 30-second time lapse where it was on. He went and planted some drugs, went back to where he stood. He thought he had turned it on, but it was already recorded when he dropped it, and then went over there. It was looking like he was looking. It's like, oh, there's some drugs. This is where he dropped it. Dumbass. And got himself busted. He's probably fired from that job or just reprimanded and then working in another place. Yeah. Working in another place. But that's why this came out. Because they thought it was off. Like if you see it, everybody was calm and relaxed as far as the what they were doing. They didn't believe they was going to get caught. Because they thought their body cams was off. And I would love to see the report into what happened before that body cam footage got released. Like they were saying, oh, he was being belligerent. He was, he was doing this and doing. His hands were cuffed behind his back. How, quote unquote, belligerent could he have been? They just got their feelings hurt because he must have been giving them hell. As far as talking wise, but that's all he could do is talk. He couldn't defend. He couldn't even put his hands up to defend himself. When they were choking him, he couldn't do anything to stop them from choking him. At one point, they had his legs pinned down and they were just beating him in the face, in the chest, in the neck, in the stomach, in the groin. These some wicked bastards. You got something?
I was gonna say, just to quote exactly what you just said when you said that. You know, they say criminals are smart or criminals are stupid or whatever the case may be. Like, granted, okay, you thought that that you turned it off or wasn't recording. You know, whatever mode is going to be on. You got to be one evil, risky old type of bastard to even still try to find the time space where I think where the possibility of it could record it, that it could be recorded or that it's not recorded or whatever the case may be. When you've seen the amount as a police officer or whatever type of security or guard or whatever you may be, to see 1,000 reports of the faulty and people didn't know they recorded, didn't know that it was on, thought they turned it off, to know that this has happened to thousands of other officers, and to think that it's not going to happen to you, it just shows this how simple-minded, how stupid you have to be to still even risk trying it. When you have 1,000 examples of people that thought the same thing as you, I thought I turned it off, I thought it wasn't on, thought it was this, thought it was that, and you still tried it anyway. It is absolutely insane. And even if I think me and you know, the more people that's a part of the crime, the more risky it gets. It's 14 of y'all, all 14 of y'all on the same page. Well, what y'all about to do? Everybody got their cameras off. Everybody say hi. It's insane. It's insane. You're absolutely right. That the name criminals and they mind criminal minds. They need to add a criminal dumb mind. They need to add something between those two words. A lot here.
Well, when you say that, that I would say that would deter someone who isn't used to doing it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sort of think of it like this. You're driving down the highway. You know the speed limit is XYZ is 55. But you done did 70,
For years.
For years. You know what I'm saying? You done did it every day. Every time you hop in the car, you on this. Every time you on this highway, you're doing, over limit. Mm-hmm. You may have gotten in 5 years, you may have gotten one speeding ticket, maybe one. So you're gonna get real lax and just doing the same thing. That's why these guys was comfortable in doing this, because so what? This is just a nigga. It's just a nigga who's locked up. Nobody cares about them. We don't care about them. It doesn't matter. So even if we do get caught, not even if we do get caught, even if someone does raise questions, so what? It's 14 sworn officers against a convict. Who are they going to believe? They're going to believe us. Why? Because the powers that be always believe themselves. Scripture says they paraphrase what was it? They our dead bodies lay in the street and they hold themselves not accountable.
Their bodies shall lay dead at the corners of every street.
Yeah, and hold themselves not accountable. They hold themselves not accountable. They hold themselves not accountable. This is exactly what happens. They're so comfortable in doing that same thing, driving, riding dirty. They've done it before. We're reading about how they got accused of assault in prior cases, right? Drop that. Give me the other one. This one we're going to get down dirty with. And this one actually has a video on it, so when you get a chance, you could watch that. Yeah, read it.
On CNN, US. What experts see in the shocking and disturbing video of New York man's fatal beating in prison?
Now it's fatal. Before it was an assault. Alleged assault. Why? Now, why is it? Why before the other one came out before this this article from the same organization? They seen a video or they know someone's dead. It was a fatal beating before this. It was a fatal beating now. But why are they saying, why are they calling it a beating now when it was before it was called assault? Let's keep reading.
CNN. Body camera footage documenting the fatal beating of Robert Brooks at the hands of New York State corrections officers has triggered an outpouring of rage and condemnations and analysis from experts who said the video shows a misuse of force by officers.
A misuse of force. That's what you call a misuse of force by officers. You know what a misuse of force is? If you put handcuffs on and you put it on just a little too tight, and you know it's a little too tight. That's a misforce. What these devils did to that brother is nowhere close than a misforce. Misuse of force. You see how the way they're wording this? Trying to set these people up for at least an appeal. You know what I'm saying? At least in the eyes of public opinion. This is what they call yellow journalism, where they slant it towards a way of thinking instead of just laying the facts out there. Strictly the facts. Is that what they say in the old movies? Just the facts, man. Strictly the facts. Nah, it's not what they're doing right here. Let's keep reading.
In black and white. Brooks, a man incarcerated at the Marcy Correctional Facility in Central New York, was pronounced dead in the early hours of December 10th at a Utica hospital. Early in the day, he had been transferred from Mohawk Correctional Facility to Marcy and beaten by the corrections officer in a medical examination room while handcuffed with his hands behind his back.
Behind his back. It wasn't like he was handcuffed in the front. He was handcuffed behind his back. He could not defend himself. And when he tried to defend himself, get the officers up off of him, they held him down and beat him even more. Even the way they carried him in there was painful to watch. They carried him. His handcuffs were still tied behind his back. Someone had his legs, and then someone carried him by his arms, which means his arms was overextended on his back. And he was carried in there like that. That's inhumane right there. Like, come on, man. They were holding him by his arms. His arms don't go that way. Well, let's keep reading. We got anything online?
All right. Young man Darius, we have a few check-ins, but young man Darius has said they have their mind made up how they carried. They had their mind made up how they carried the brother in.
Yeah. When you can see when they carried the brother in, they what they was going to do. They knew what they was going to do. Exactly right. Let's keep going.
Body camera footage shows officers repeatedly punching and kicking Brooks in the face, chest, and groin until he stops moving. Not until he was complying, because he was already complying. Until he stops moving. Man, that was a tough video to watch. It's a tough video to watch. Let's keep reading. But you have to watch it. You have to watch it. Because that's how you know who our enemy is. That's how you know who our enemy is. Given a chance, they're going to beat us to death. And say we were non-compliant. What in the hell you expect us to do if you beating us over the head? Stomping on us. You got this, like, when they say, they kicked him, you would kind of think that he was on the ground and, they were standing up and they were stomping on him or something like that, or he was standing up and they try to kick him down or something like that. He was on a gurney. That means he was about 3-4 feet off the ground. What kind of a devil do you have to be to try and kick somebody 3-4 feet off the ground? You know how just awkward, you know what I'm saying, that to get a kick in. You know how awkward that is? But that's how much hate that they had. That they was kicking the brother on the gurney. Boy, I tell you, when Christ come back, it ain't gonna be a misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying?
Heads are going to be rolling. Why? Because of this. And this is just one incident that was caught on video. You remember that brother that was murdered in the South? I want to say it was like in Louisiana when they didn't find him until like maggots was all on his body, and the one sister said she didn't want to perform CPR because he had bugs all over. That means he was gone for a while. In custody. He was gone for a while. He wasn't freshly dead. He was gone for a while. These are the people that are over us. Let's keep reading.
The New York Attorney General's office. The New York Attorney General's Office of Special Investigations has opened up an investigation into Brooks' death. Attorney General Lydia James pledged Friday to quote unquote use every possible tool available to us to investigate this death thoroughly and swiftly, and described the footage of the beating as shocking and disturbing.
More than that, shocking and disturbing. It's disgusting.
Right.
The people that were supposed to be like they're sworn officers. They're supposed to uphold the Constitution.
Right.
If you read the Constitution, you know the Constitution is not for us.
Right.
So I guess they really are upholding the Constitution to destroy us,
right.
Keep us in slavery and destroy us. Right. That is the DNA of America. Right. Let's keep reading.
At least one of the officers involved, Anthony Farina, has resigned following the incident, according to the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. He, along with two other officers allegedly involved in the beating, were previously accused of assault, according to court documents obtained by CNN.
So this is what we was reading in the previous article. This is one of the officers that was accused of assault prior, and he got the opportunity to resign. What does that mean to resign? There's a difference between resigning, saying, "Hey, I leave your employment," and getting fired. Mm-hmm. They let him resign so that he can go on and find employment somewhere else. This is the oppressor looking out for the oppressor. Yeah. They let him resign. They say, "All right, go ahead and just resign. Lay low for a few weeks, whatever. But we'll look out for you. We'll put in a good word for you wherever you may want to go." And that's exactly what he did. Thinking he's just going to, it's going to get swept under the rug. Might even work for the same place. Come back. That's not unheard of. Let's keep reading.
It is difficult to draw conclusions about the situation because this video footage does not capture any audio or show what led up to the violence immediately preceding Brooks' death.
Ain't that white splaining? Ain't that white splaining? Do I need to hear what was going on? What in the hell could he have said to deserve to get beat to death with his hands behind his back? Him not being able to defend himself. What could have been said? I wonder what could have been said to what are they thinking? What are they thinking? Oh, he threatened their life, right? Let's just say he did that. He was getting beat upside his head. He got carried in by his arms. You know what I'm saying? With his hands behind his back. He was getting beat. He was getting choked. He was getting stomped on. And he can't physically fight back because he's bound and he's outnumbered. I would threaten him. That's the only thing I could do. They try to shut him up by stuffing a towel down his mouth. Well, he's speaking loud and clear from the grave right now. He does. He can't speak for himself, but we can speak for him. And we're saying that this was absolutely evil and wicked what these oppressors do to us. Evil and wicked. And then they had the nerve to say we didn't hear what went on before. Does it matter what we heard? We see what was going on. Keep reading, Baba Shaw.
But in the opinion of several experts who reviewed the video, the footage showcases an excessive use of force by officers as well as a failure by other officers to intervene. Quote unquote, I can't believe the excessive force that these correction officers use. Michael Alcazar, a retired NYPD detective and adjunct professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, told CNN Friday. Here's more on what experts said about the video.
It's like, where are you?
At the next bold print, inhumane.
Okay.
Inhumane and unnecessary use of force.
Go back up. It was difficult.
Okay. It is difficult to draw conclusions about the situation because the video footage does not capture any audio or show what led up to the violence immediately preceding Brooks' death.
Okay, immediately preceding Brooks' death, but he died the next day. Doesn't matter. You see them getting beat. You see Brooks getting beat. You see Robert Brooks getting beat and beat by multiple grown men, and he was not able to defend himself. What, like I said, what could he have possibly have said to warrant that death sentence? What could he have said? Nothing. There's nothing that he could have said to warrant a death sentence for them to execute a judgment. That's what happened. They executed judgment on his brother. For all them Christians out there saying only God can judge me, y'all haven't been through the court system before. Y'all haven't been at the mercy of wicked men, wicked oppressors that can do and say anything they want to you without impunity. Now we'll see what's gonna happen. We'll see. Keep reading that part.
But in the opinion of several experts who reviewed the video, the footage showcases an excessive use of force by officers as well as a failure by other officers to intervene.
As well as a failure by other officers to intervene. Now, did you know, Brock, if you, me, and 3-4 other people go out right now, and I'm driving, and then y'all go out and rob a bank, and we and I'm still in the driver's seat, and I'm just waiting on y'all to come out, from that bank, right? So we can get the cash or whatnot. And something goes wrong, like what's the name of that? Any given Sunday is what set it off, and an officer, a cop, isn't there, and someone kills a cop. I'm getting charged for that murder. Yep, I'm getting charged for that murder. Even though I didn't pull the trigger, I didn't swing a club, I didn't do anything but drive there. Even if I say, what, y'all killed a cop? I'm out and get out the car and let y'all drive away. I am still an accomplice to that murder. Yep. And whatever y'all get, I get. Yep. But somehow over here, in this case, all they did was stand by and look. Yep. And they would be subject to lesser charges. But if it was us, if it was a black or brown person, so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian person that were to commit a crime, whoever did the worst thing, everybody is guilty of that, the worst thing, and we're going to be judged accordingly. But not these oppressors. Yep. Keep reading.
Quote unquote, I can't believe the excessive force that these corrections officers used. Michael Alcazar, a retired NYPD detective and adjunct professor at John Day College of Criminal Justice, told CNN on Friday.
Yes, you can believe. Yes, you can believe. He's a professor. First of all, he's a retired NYPD detective, so he was there when they did that to that Levite brother, Abner Louima. Do you remember that? They tortured a brother, a Levite brother, Abner Luema, tortured him. I think it was like a drunken disorderly call or something like that. The brother came out of a club, had a few too much, you know what I'm saying, and they charged him with like a drunken disorderly, right? Which was supposed to be something like, hey, you're drunk. They take you to jail. And they put you in jail and just let you, in the holding cell, let you, sober up, and then post bail or whatever, bond, whatever, and then send your tail home the next day. What they did was torture the brother and sodomize the brother. You mean to tell me? And he was there for this. If he's a retired NYPD officer, he was there for this. He was there for this. I know this. And then he's a professor in criminal justice, which means he teaches criminal justice, including ethics, about cases that happen all over the country, including what happened with the brother that was in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? They kicked off the BLM movement and whatnot. Yeah. Including all the other stuff that happened like in between. Mike Brown as well. I'm pretty sure he studied those cases and taught those cases. All of those was egregious. Mike Gardner. Oh, Eric Gardner. That's New York too. Come on, man. These people. A
couple comments and a question.
Let's go.
Okay, 76 says, how many more stories do we have to hear before we realize the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of? First, the brother who got choked out. Now this, not even a month apart. Says our people really need to wake up.
The brother who got choked out, not even a month apart. Who was it?
On the train station. By the ex-Marine or whatever. Yeah.
The brother that got... And he was found not guilty because they couldn't
invited him to the box office with Trump at the Army Navy game.
They did?
Oh yeah, there's videos, pictures of him up there shaking hands with Trump. Trump invited him up there and took pictures with him.
Wow. Yeah. I did not know that. So he kills a nigga. And he gets invited by the president-elect to watch a football game. That was his reward. That was his reward for watch him write a book. Watch him be a keynote speaker and tell everybody about his experience. About how he actually got to kill a nigga. Man, that's crazy.
We got a question online as well.
Go ahead.
Amen. Hotep set 1.
This Hotep nigga, Slakia. I don't even know what dude has to say. Let's see.
Amen, Hotep set. Okay. Says, so what we men gonna do? Question mark.
What we men gonna do? What you gonna do?
Good question.
What are you gonna do, Hotep?
Right.
I want to see what you gonna do, because we have been doing stuff for years, since 1969. Right. Since 1969, we've been teaching brothers and sisters on how not to be subject to the oppressor like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How not to be have these oppressors over us to where they where basically they're over. They have life, the power of life and death over us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever that brother did to be incarcerated, we teach our brothers and sisters never to do any of that type of stuff, so that we don't have to be subject to their rule. That's what we've been doing, at the very least. At the very least. Now, there are times where we're telling brothers and sisters to live a life according to the Most High God, and they do not listen to us, right? And then they go their own way and fulfill their lusts and do whatever it is that they would do to get incarcerated. even those brothers and sisters that are incarcerated, we still go into the prisons and teach them how to once they get released, never come back again. That's what we do. That's what we doing. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we're gonna continue to do.
Right.
Now, what's your resume? What have you been doing? We get, Commander General Yahanna has gotten people off of crack. You know what I'm saying? He busy. He stay busy.
That's right.
Commander General Yahanna has talked brothers and sisters off the ledge, figuratively and literally. Commander General Yahanna has gotten sisters off the stripper pole, off the track, out of the abortion clinics. What have you done? Commander General Yahanna has raised up brothers and sisters who has associate's degrees, bachelor's degrees, masters, and doctorates. Business owners, you know what I'm saying? Farmers, construction men, nurses, doctors. That's what Commander General Yahanna has done, and he's still doing.
So I don't know if you had said it, but if you did, I'll say it twice. Expunge Brothers Records.
I didn't say that. Expunge Brothers Records, so that they can go out and help other brothers and sisters, just like they've been helped. That's what we've been doing. What you expect us to say? Oh, take up arms and go in and end their lives? Nah. We're not going to do that. But I know someone who will. His name is Yahushua. In order for us to activate that button, that Yahushua button, all we got to do is put down crack, put down pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Don't celebrate New Year's. Don't celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Don't wear fringes on the bottom of our t-shirts.
Right.
How about that? That's a big one.
Right.
Don't call ourselves by another people.
That's right.
You know them Hotep niggas had you in slavery?
Right.
Did you know that? Well, I can't say they had him in slavery because I don't know who he is. He may be really Hotep. You know what I'm saying? He might really be that. But they had us in slavery. I can say that.
Right.
But that's what we're doing. That's what Commander General Yahanna has raised us up to do. Why? Because he was doing it and he's still doing it. Commander General Yahanna just came off the reservation waking our people up, giving them had a clothing and a food drive out there for our brothers and sisters. Come on, man. Come on. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Let's keep reading.
Inhumane and unnecessary use of force. Several law enforcement experts who spoke to CNN criticized the correctional officers' use of force shown in the footage.
Now, this is crazy. This is crazy because why are they coming out right now when the video comes out? The facts, just like we said earlier, the facts remain that a man was beaten to death while in custody. Not by other inmates, but by correction officers. Correction officers. Why are they speaking out only when they got caught? Those are the facts. How can a man get beaten to death while he's in custody and it wasn't by other inmates? Who did it? Why weren't you speaking out then? You're only speaking out when the video comes out and it shows with irrefutable proof that he was murdered. He was red-rummed by the people who were supposed to protect him. Let's keep reading. Y'all a bunch of hypocrites, man. I can't, man. Again, he said, "What are we gonna do about it? What we men is gonna do about it?" I'm not gonna throw my sister away. This pisses me off so bad. No matter how annoying that woman gets, no matter how degrading she gets, I am going to correct her. I'm not going to leave her. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to raise my son to be a man. I'm going to raise my daughter to be a woman, a princess. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell my brothers that no, Becky is not what you want. You know what I'm saying? I don't know some Indian name. You know, so they are not what you want. Umchata is not what you want. Ling Ling is not what you want. What you want is Sharkeisha. You want Sharkeisha. You know what I'm saying? You want Maria. That's who you want. That's who you need. I'm gonna tell my brothers that smoking or selling, slanging, hustling ain't the way to go. That's how pissed off I am. I'm not going to I'm gonna take my love off of every other nation and put it only on so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. I'm going to follow the Most High God, all of His laws, statutes, and commandments, and I'm going to tell all my people to do the same thing. Why? Because if I do that, and enough people, enough of my brothers and sisters do that, then Christ will come back and put us in our place. And where is our place? In power. Absolute power. Absolute power. You understand what absolute? I don't think you understand really what absolute power is. See how the way these devils, run. See how the way they run. They just like what Barack was saying. They got body cams on. You know what I'm saying? 14 people have body cams on, and they still did what they did. They're running around like because they're saying what Trump has is supposed to give them qualified immunity or something like that. They're supposed to get that. They're running around like they can do whatever they want without anything happening to them. Well, they're running around unrighteously. But when we put hands and feet on people in our kingdom, not now, once Christ comes back in our kingdom, it's going to be righteous. It's going to be absolute righteous. Why? Because you ain't fixed my pancakes the way I wanted to fix. You know what I'm saying? You left the door open. Oh, man.
You got one job.
Yeah, you got one job. That's it.
Send them to the ICU.
No Edomites gonna be allowed on the compound. They don't have to live out, where horses live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why is that nigga on that? They gonna have to sleep with the nags. Maybe the Hawaiians will be the the cooks and the house niggas, so to speak. Maybe we'll see. But they gonna get oops upside the head if they don't fix my oxtails properly. Here's something new. I ain't gonna say that. But let's keep reading. We got anything else before we keep reading?
Quote. It says Brooks 43 seemed to be compliant with officers and not posing a threat as officers beat him, making the use of force potentially excessive under the law, according to Bryce Peterson.
Potentially. See how the way they have to word things? Because if he says something other than this, potentially or allegedly or something like that, the criminals, the people who broke the law, who beat an unarmed, defenseless man to death, can sue him for slander. It's crazy. It's crazy. Even if they get convicted of this, they can still sue them for slander because they wasn't convicted. You see how this country works? This kingdom works. This kingdom must fall. Must fall. Absolutely.
Right.
Like it can't be no traces left of it.
Right.
Nothing. And the only way for this kingdom to fall is if for every so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian don't vote. Stop celebrating Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Love one another. And what does love one another mean? Tell Sexy Red she ain't talented and put some clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Stay with the man who you made a baby with. Stuff like that. That's love. That's actually love right there. Let's keep reading.
According to Bryce Peterson, an adjunct professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice and a senior research scientist at the Center of Justice Research and Innovation, quote unquote, just because,
even though we started out like that, just because, nigga, just because, keep going, Salakia.
Just because someone is handcuffed does not mean they cannot be subjected to force.
Just because someone is handcuffed does not mean they could not be subjected to force. That's why they're, you know, when they get them to that point, they're supposed to be outnumbered, so you don't have to beat them.
Right.
So you don't have to, you know, if you want to force them to comply, you can hold. You can literally sit on his legs, lay on his legs, boom. A 200-pound, average 200-pound man just laying on someone's legs. They ain't gonna move. They ain't gonna move unless they like some Michael Clark Duncan type dude. Then you get two people on his legs. You know what I'm saying? One on each leg. They boom. They're subdued, and you can do what you want to do. According to it was like 14 people there.
14.
Y'all couldn't just hold them. 2 people per limb. Y'all couldn't just do that.
His hands are behind his back.
Yeah, 2 people per limb. You couldn't do that, and held him down until he wore himself out.
Yep.
It ain't gonna be but so much, you know. You moving and you can't move until you're like, all right, nigga. All right, I'm done. You done? All right, yeah, I'm done. You could have went home. He could have went back to his cell. Everybody would have been. I ain't gonna say everybody would have been happy, but everything would have been above board. But nah, y'all some wicked. And this retired cop who's teaching future investigators, you know what I'm saying, future law enforcement officers, the mindset. Let's keep reading.
Just because someone is handcuffed does not mean they cannot be subjected to force, Peterson told CNN Friday. However, and this is a big however.
Why it gotta be a big however?
Right.
Why it gotta be a big however?
Right.
Let's keep reading.
However, and this is a big however, if someone is no longer a direct threat to the officers and is complying with instructions, it would certainly be excessive to strike them, choke them, etc.
So if they weren't following instructions, you can strike them, choke them, and etc. But however, if they're no longer a direct threat, how much of a direct threat can a man be laying on a gurney with his hands tied behind his back? When you see it, you're gonna see that they picked this brother up and he was limp. They threw him against the wall. You just threw him against the wall. He was limp. Put him back on the table. Still continue to beat him. Put him back on the wall. You couldn't see what they were doing to him because it was just so much people there. It was so much people there. You couldn't get a view. Put him back on the table and continue to beat him. And then he was unresponsive. He was just laying there. Man, just y'all read this story. Drop this and get me 2 Maccabees 7. Start at verse 1. This is nothing new, unfortunately. If they can do this to us, they would.
You said 2 Maccabees chapter 7?
Mm-hmm.
Verse.
1.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips.
Tormented. Tormented is
tortured.
Tortured, yeah. I mean, it was torture with whips. Now you ain't got to do that to brothers. Brothers will fight you if you don't eat. You know, if you come to their barbecue and you don't eat their pork. You come to their seafood boil and they don't eat they sea roaches. Right. It's roaches, nigga. Right. But these brothers rather face torture and death than to eat swine's flesh. Why? Because their father taught them better. And why their father taught them better? Because the father knew the law, statutes, and commandments. Taught these brothers the law, statutes, and commandments. So everything that happened to Robert Brooks is not new, and is going to continue to happen if we don't stand up for ourselves. Now, how do we stand up for ourselves? We throw away Christianity. We throw away being a Democrat. We throw away being a Republican. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We throw away being a Crip, a Blood, a Vice Lord, a GD. We throw away all these other hoteps. You know what I'm saying? We throw away what's today's math. We throw away all this nonsense and come back to the Most High God, His law, statutes, and commandments. That way, if we're subject to the Most High God's law, statutes, and commandments, we can be blameless in everything else. Everything else. They can accuse us of nothing. They can't accuse us of murder. They can't accuse us of assault. They can't accuse us of nothing. Why? Because we living above their law. We're living at our law, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, which is way above their law. They can't accuse us of nothing. Let's keep reading.
But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
Man, if we get that mentality back on the earth,
right?
If we get that mentality back on earth, we're gonna hear them trumpets. We're gonna hear them trumpets crack the sky, and we're gonna see Christ coming back sooner than later. Right. I saw man, brothers on TikTok. These brothers are funny. You know what I'm saying? They said, what if you hear, the sky cracks and you hear the trumpets? This is according to the scripture. You know, when the sky cracks, you're gonna hear the trumpets. And the trumpets are the trumpets from that I think it's C Murder. F the mother niggas because I'm down for my niggas. Dun, 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 dun. What if it's that? Because that's the time Christ's gonna be on. That's the time Christ's gonna be on. Yeah. I don't know if you know this.
Damn right.
I didn't even know that was trumpets. But hey, sky crack and I hear that. Burn my hands. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
Let's keep reading. I would rather die than to transgress the laws of our father.
Verse 3. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot.
So I gotta admit, these devils, got an imagination. You gonna fry these niggas? You gonna fry them? Okay. We gotta get our imagination going. We gotta get our imagination going for when Christ comes back. Because the punishment, I heard, I heard one of the generals say when Christ come back, he's gonna have a race.
Yep, Jeremiah.
I was gonna say it, but yeah, he said he's gonna have a race, and all the Edomites he has, the winner will live. The winner will live. All you gotta do is just keep running. Just keep running. The last person will live. Everybody else will go.
That's right.
I don't know how many races he's gonna have, but man, that's creative.
All right.
Let's keep reading.
Verse 4. Which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first.
So he said, before it was it was heated, he said, you know what? That nigga that talked first, cut his tongue out. I didn't even want to hear him say nothing no more. Cut his tongue out. Keep going.
And to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
So they cut his arms off too. Like, are you serious?
And his brethren, sorry. Mother looking on.
So yeah, they did it in the sight of his brothers and his mother. Did it in the sight of his brother and his mother. Why? Because he's gonna ask the next oldest brother, you gonna eat this pork? You see what happened to your older brother. You see what happened to him. You gonna do this? Keep going.
Verse 5. Now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire.
So he was still alive when this happened. He was still alive. He was like, bring him to the fire. Keep going.
And to be fried in the pan.
Mm.
And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus. So
he's after they fried their brother, like they turned to one another and like, yo, we about to go, but we ain't gonna be no punks. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go out. We're gonna go out manfully. So they turned to each other and they decided what.
God looketh upon us, and in truth have comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servant.
So he's saying, yo, Most High sees us, you know what I'm saying? But he's going to be happy that we're dying in his name. We're dying obeying the Most High God. Scripture says, do not fear the man that can kill the body and not kill the soul, but fear him that can kill the body and the soul. Mm-hmm. So they didn't fear this king. They feared God, because God, the Most High God, can kill the body and destroy the soul. What does that even look like? You know what I'm saying? What does that even look like? It's like every time I see, my mind thinks like this. Every time I see, like, those people who are in like wheelchairs, who are like kind of like disfigured, or their body is like real small and they're in a wheelchair, they're moving right and they can like barely move and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I look at them, I'm like, man, what the hell did they do to piss off the Most High? Imagine coming back like that all the time, not being able to walk, not being able to function, like a regular man or a woman. Like, what did you know what I'm saying? That's how I think. I'm like, yo, that's a short in the spare right there. You finish with that life and then you come back and you right back in that chair. Damn. Damn. Is pork worth it? You know what I'm saying? Is the seafood boil worth it? Is it really? Is the stripper pole worth it? Is that the Planned Parenthood really worth it? Nah. It's not. I'm trying to told you. Let's keep reading.
So in the first, verse 7, so when the first was dead after this number, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head, the hair.
Damn. They're walking into this with their eyes open. What do I mean by that? They walk into this with their eyes open. They know they're about to get tortured. They know they're about to get tortured. And all they have to do is disobey God and eat pork. That's all they have to do to stay alive. But you know what they said? They would rather disobey man than to disobey God. They would rather listen to God. This is scripture. They would rather listen to God than listen to man. Knowing what's going to happen. This is very graphic. It's very graphic right here. Let's keep reading.
And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body?
So they pulled the skin off. God damn, this. Like, I'm imagining this. You know why the oppressors call our brothers, the native Indian brothers, redskin? It's not because of hue of the skin. It's because they had bounties on the Native American Indians, and in order to collect on the bounty, they would have to scalp, take off the skin with the hair, just like they're reading right here. Take off the skin with the hair, and bring it to the person who pays the bounty. A lot of times they did this while these brothers and sisters were still alive. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but when someone gets their wig split, like literally a wig split, I've seen it. It looks like you've seen like at the end of a football game when the coach wins a big game and they take Gatorade and they do a Gatorade bath, and the water just comes, the Gatorade just comes gushing off of them. That's how much blood, for some reason, I don't know why. That's how much blood just comes, come down their face, comes down their body, covers their body, and just gushes. And I need y'all to imagine this. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to imagine this, because this is the people that are over us. These are the people that people are saying we're the same people. These are the people that never paid for their crimes. Never. And they're still not paying for their crimes after because they're still doing this stuff. The blood is just rushing down their face, and it's covered in their body is covered in the blood, and that's why they call them redskins. This brother had his wig pushed back, split open. Blood is coming all the way down. He most likely can't even see because there's so much blood going in his eyes. And then they're going to ask him, "Hey, all this can stop. All you gotta do is eat pork, eat this ham hock. You know what I'm saying? Eat this ham sandwich. Because if you don't, we're going to continue doing this to every member of your body." And you know what he said? Let's keep reading.
But he answered in his own language.
And if you don't know right now, this is when we were in conflict with we're in captivity with the Greeks and the who came out, and the Romans. So he answered in Hebrew. He answered in the Lashwan Kodash, and he said this:
No.
La'ah. He said no. La'ah. Keep reading.
Wherefore he also received the next torment in order, as the former did.
So that just answering in his own language, you know what I'm saying, was more defiant. And it pissed them off all the more. If you continue to read this, all the brothers, down to the baby, receive the same treatment. And it goes on and on and on how it happened. Not only did the brothers, but they did it to the mother lastly. Talking about warriors. These men are warriors. But this goes to show you that they've all, not, I can't say they always, because it was a point in time where we was in our kingdom and we was obeying the Most High God and no one could touch us. But whenever we was in captivity, I put it that way, whenever we was in captivity, they always abused us. Always abused us. I can't find something where it says when we was in power, we abused anybody else. If anything, we abuse ourselves. We abuse ourselves with all manner of wickedness. But whenever we was in captivity, all the time, we were abused. And the king could have just like, yo, after the first one, he was like, all right, well, second one, the third one, down to the last one. He could have let the mother live. Like, all right, these cats, they really about their God. I killed killed the whole line. Let me just let the woman go. Just let the mother go. But no, this is the people that you call ally. You give them power, they're gonna abuse it on us and only us. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. That's it. We have any more questions?
Nah, just everybody was just in the spirit of the topic. Yeah, I mean, right and agreement. You understand? Pier 76 has said they find pleasure in unaliving us to this day, and it's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a whole lot of interaction regarding the topic, and he was on point with everything that was being said.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Barak.
All right, we got the security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves with the world after 6 months. If a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offer of a priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation, we got Purim.
Well, we're still in Hanukkah.
Water. So we're still actually in the 8 days of the Feast of Dedication, which is Hanukkah. That is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. You understand? That's Wednesday, December 25th that just passed of 2024, and then you count for 8 days. You can find this in the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52 through 61.
In Purim, yeah.
And right, and the following high holy day will be Purim. That is the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. Got to be Thursday, March 13th, and Friday, March 14th of 2025. And you can go into the Bible. It'll be in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. All right. With that as well, that is the last high holy day up until the Passover, which would be in April 12th of 2025 in Atlanta, Georgia. April 12th is where the Lord's 56th annual Passover is going to be held at. Of course, you understand you want to start to get your arrangements together. You understand, from transportation to your funds gathering together. Within the last year, anybody that was 17 of age and above, it was of $200. The price this year has not been dropped just yet, but you want to, start to go in and prep to save that money up now. $10 a week, $10 a day, and also place in your leave slips for that week. It'll be a week long of events for the children. You understand, for the parents, it'll be daycare services. It'll, in previous years we had shuttle services. You understand? So just expect these things so that you can expect these things in preparation, you know, leading up to the Lord's 56th annual Passover. As well, anything went out on the Passover?
Nah.
It's for Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Salaki, gotta add that on there.
Yeah.
It's for Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians only. You understand? That can get through those doors and come in here and celebrate and keep this our holy day with us. As well, tonight, Monday night, Commander Yahanna is going live on the YouTube channel. The channel is called The Real General Yahanna. The Real General Yahanna. Check it out. Going live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He'll be going live, and that'll be on the YouTube. Anything else you want to add? Want to say we covered our bases?
Yeah.
Most High in Christ. Remind Akim and Akwaki to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper to school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, and scarf. And with that, I say Amaji, which means to stand. We're going to give one courteous salute to the teacher, the Minister of Amadi Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat,
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're